Greetings, comrades. Hope this finds you well. Quick shout out to INN, which I am a founding member of. So it looks like the leftist candidate, it's a kiddo, video number 2 while holding a baby while they're sleeping. Xiomara Castro is set to become the president of Honduras, and her husband was the former president of Honduras when he was ousted by that U.S.-backed military coup in 2008, which Hillary Clinton kind of boasted about, that she didn't want Manuel Zelaya, Castro's husband, to become president, to win that, or to stay in office, basically. So awesome to see that, these leftist candidates, these leftist movements are just showing so much power all around the world, particularly in, Latin America. We have, leftist socialist governments in Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua. We have this democratic socialist candidate, Xiomara Castro, I believe, of the Libre Party, set to become president of Honduras. And we also have, leftist socialist government in Bolivia as well. So just really awesome, exciting to see. And it just makes me think how long until the United States is going to enact some type of coup effort to get Xiomara Castro out of office, as they, tacitly and, implicitly or explicitly supported that coup in Honduras that ousted Manuel Zelaya, Castro's husband, right? And we've seen all the shady shit they've, done to Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Bolivia over the years. And what's to stop that same pattern from happening in Honduras, right? And again, Xiomara Castro is not, a true necessarily like socialist or communist. She identifies as a democratic socialist and, wants to do things like focus on reducing, the amount of poverty in that country, as, was also something that her husband, Manuel Zelaya, also focused on when he was president. Not focusing on the relationship the country has with Taiwan, but instead focusing on developing a relationship with China. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, China has a whole lot more to offer than Taiwan, right? It's the biggest economy in the world, for God's sakes. Also, setting up a commission to investigate corruption in the country. I think another part of her platform was also legalizing abortion, which is super important. And I think even talking about some type of constitutional referendum to, amend and change the constitution in that country. So, her platform and what she wants to do seems pretty reasonable. It sounds like maybe the Congress there is kind of maybe divided along, more leftist and then conservative lines. So it'd be interesting how much of her agenda she would be able to get passed, as well as I was reading an article, it was definitely from a conservative viewpoint, but it was talking about how Honduras doesn't have, a lot of necessarily financial resources to enact some of the things that Xiomara Castro, wants to get done. But I just don't necessarily think that's super accurate, because to my knowledge, Nicaragua isn't a supremely wealthy country, and yet they're able to guarantee things like healthcare and universal education, kindergarten through college, their food sustainability, they have, free and fair elections, it's a very safe country, et cetera, with, not a huge amount of material resources. So I think, again, it's all about how resources are distributed, who gets them. You can't have a society with massive amounts of wealth controlled by only, a handful of people, and then, expect, everybody, in the working class to have a high standard of living. I would assuming that it's probably an issue in Honduras, as it is in most, capitalist countries, like where I'm speaking from, the United States, right? We have a massive amount of wealth and resources, but by and large, it's controlled by a very small minority of people, the, capitalist billionaire owner class while the working class struggles, and we, don't have, everybody doesn't have health care, a house, high quality education, food, clean water, mental health care, et cetera, right? So pretty promising though. It's always nice to see these political victories, these wins, these, leftist, socialist, democratic socialist candidates in this case get into office, because it speaks to, the power of hope and the power of these leftist, movements and governments, particularly in Latin America, and just how far, the United States has to go, in that matter, right? Like the Democratic Party, that's the fucking right wing, that's the moderate right wing party, right? And the Republicans are the far right party, and sometimes the Democrats are also the far right party on, different issues as well. So, right. So congratulations to the Libre Party and Xiomara Castro for, becoming the next president of Honduras. And I definitely look forward to see what they're able to, accomplish for the, working people in Honduras, particularly, around poverty alleviation and raising people's standards of living, investigating, corruption, legalizing abortion, all that stuff. Super, super important, and some good news, frankly. And sometimes we're in short supply of that, right? Like the video if you like the damn video. Subscribe for more content. All part of the people. Quick shout out to the 2 Uber comrades supporting my channel, my partner, and Indie Left News. Definitely check them out. They're a great resource. Say bye to baby. Bye, baby.